Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 7, Episode 4, and we're back today as promised for a big top of the table clash between two of the top six as we go to visit the Baggies West Bromwich Albion away at the Hawthorns. As well as that, we'll be reflecting on a few of our brilliant results since the last episode. You can see we're just about clinging up there at the top from Watford, but have got a little bit of a gap back to third place and a very big one down to Oxford in 7th. They're a team we were disappointed at drawing against earlier in the season away from home. They were the second favourites to go down, but Oxford are very much in the playoff chase, and if all things go their way today and we get a result against West Brom, they could finish today's episode in the top 6, making our performance look a bit less of a shock. But after playing it down for the season so far, if we do get a result today, I think I finally have to admit we're chasing automatic promotion. I still don't think we're quite going to make it, but just look at our goal difference, and some of the performances we've had recently have been absolutely scintillating. There are a couple of small issues we've noticed as well in recent weeks, but let's be honest, there's nothing detracting from the fact we're top of the league and absolutely flying. But before we go and look at the recent results and play today's game against West Brom, we'll also discuss some of the January plans that Dougie Freedman could be looking at, but we might not be here to see them. The benefit of us being top of the league and really overachieving with Barnsley is that we're getting chased quite regularly by bigger clubs. We've had an interview at Lazio, we've had an interview at Zenit St Petersburg. The Zenit one we didn't even apply for, that was just a club coming after us from abroad. And we've also had an interview at Wolves. They're 18th in the Premier League at the moment. They're not doing too well, but if we look at some of the players they've got, well, 30, 20 and 15 million pound, they look like a properly decent club. They've also got Barley Mumba in there, I've just seen, who was an absolute hero in the early years of our Torquay save and looks a pretty decent player on this one as well. Some recognisable names there, and since the interview we need to look at this media report. We were one of the favourites before news of the interview broke, and now we're even stronger favourite due to the good interview and the vibes that are coming out of the club since. So it looks like it's going to be a meteoric rise, particularly over those first two disastrous moves. So for any of you doing a journeyman save yourselves, don't be deterred if you get sacked the first time or two around. You can still make it to the top. Hopefully we'll be playing in the Premier League soon, whether it be with Barnsley or with Wolves. But back to Barnsley, we've got to keep our focus on them for now. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for the last few results. You're with me for that entertaining draw at home to Blackburn in the last episode. A really brilliant game of football between two excellent sides, and we're both still very much up there in the top 6. We then won away at Charlton 2-0 with a comfortable performance. Andrew Edwards, the wonder kid on the right wing, he got a goal for us before Noel Goodwin wrapped it up in stoppage time. A good second goal from him, and he's having another fantastic season for us. We then had a disappointing draw at home to Sheffield Wednesday. That was a Yorkshire derby at home at Oakwell. We sold out the ground, we were defensively solid, but couldn't quite get over the line. We then won 2-0 away at Cardiff at the start of November. Goodwin with another goal, and then Liam Lindsay, the captain. They had a late red card, but it was already over by then. And then the first of two exceptional performances since. 5-0 at home to Leeds in the Yorkshire derby again. We were 2-0 up going into the second half. They got an early red card in that half, and then we got 3 late goals to make it look completely convincing. Rooney, Coleman, Edwards and Lindsay all getting a goal, and we couldn't have been more happy with the performance. Another sellout at Oakwell. We've really got the fans on side here. We then went away to Rotherham as we continued playing all the Yorkshire sides. Goodwin and Coleman continued their good respective scoring form, but we were held back with a late goal in that one. A brilliant finish it was as well, but it did mean we remained unbeaten at the time, so we weren't too unhappy with the result. We then won 1-0 at home to Preston, Tom Burton with a goal in that one, and then we lost 1-0 at Leicester, a really disappointing one this. They're the only side that have offered us a job since the last episode, but it was on similar money, and they're a mid-table championship side. Although they're slightly bigger reputation-wise, it wasn't enough of a step up that I would be willing to take the risk. In real life I would have turned it down, an extra £2,000 a week, but you've got to move house, you've got no risk of being able to succeed at that club, and you're going halfway down the league you're already managing in. There's not enough of a noticeable difference to step aside, so as a result I chose to stay at Barnsley. And that was proven right the following week, as Tom Burton came back into action after a rest, and we won 4-0 at home to Sheffield United. All of the goals coming in the first 40 minutes, and then we rested a few players in the second half. So we come into this one full of confidence and in absolutely excellent form, and we've even got a couple of players back from injury and fatigue. So obviously there is a small chance, or possibly if we're to believe the media, a fairly big chance this could be our last episode at the club. It would have been nice to see the job through till the end of the season, but realistically, you wouldn't reject a real life chance at the Premier League, particularly if we get to double or triple our salary. So we'll have to see how that pans out, but we have to stick to the rules of this series. So let's get into the game for today. It's a big top of the table clash. If we can get a result, we'll definitely leave Barnsley in a good way, even if we do get that job offer from Wolves. West Brom have lost 3 on the bounce, which is why Oxford are now so close to them. They're still sponsored by Ideal Boilers, but I don't know if the FM match engine will have the boiler suit man on the sideline. We've got 3 wins in 5, and we go into this one full of confidence on the back of that 4-0 win against Sheffield United. So in terms of the reserves, we had a game yesterday that we played some players in, so there's not many that are fit outside the 18. Tappier's back from injury, he's been out since the international break. Scully's done well for him, as has Stark when required, but it is good to have our first choice man in there. The rest of the side is as we've normally been. The only slight issue we've had is Tom Burton, the centre half who's been first choice this year due to Steve Cook leaving. He's got really poor natural fitness and he's ended up having to go on holiday twice already. He's playing for England under 21s, which really doesn't help that cause as we can't even give him a break in the internationals. He's missing so much training, but we've now got him working on his endurance off the pitch, so hopefully that'll bode well as we move forward. He's training well and we're just waiting for those to develop to an acceptable level. It's the only thing that's stopping him at the moment, whereas Niall Goodwin gets the chance to play every match. He still develops brilliantly and he's going to be a superstar long term for this club. As long as the director of football doesn't sell him or the club choose to cash in if we leave. But our lineup for today, you could probably name most of it now. It's Lumley in goal, Colin and Taylor the fullbacks with Lindsay and Burton in the middle, Tappier in the holding role, Benniker and Goodwin in central midfield, Coleman on the left, Edwards on the right, and Jack Rooney continues up front. I've got to show you Edwards quickly, the wonder kid we got on loan from United. He is developing brilliantly and is really starting to show why he's a wonder kid in this series. 5 goals and 3 assists, a rating above a 7, and for a 19-year-old, he's starting to look like a proper prospect. Another under 21 international for England. We're doing very well to have 2 of those in the side. But enough talk, let's get into the game. We've got plenty of quality on the bench if need be, and since we've noticed the struggles with Burton's fitness, in those games where we have been 2 or 3 up, we've brought Jackson on with half an hour to go, which also means he gets some football as well, so it's beneficial all round. But let's start the game. West Brom are slight favourites, but we want to buck the trend and get another point or 3 on the board. The increasingly rare 4-4-2 for West Brom then. 2 wingers we recognise, Bittencourt and Solly March. They've got some really decent players at the club there. Lewis Baker in midfield, Ben Gibson at centre half. Plenty of recognisable names and we can see why they're up there in the promotion push. We're going to tell the lads to prove a point. A few of them are motivated and hopefully they'll show that on the pitch. It's Rooney with the kick off to Tappier. We have started to show our defensive solidity again, but on the road we just seem to throw in the odd bad performance where we've had a 2-2 draw, a 1-0 defeat, and hopefully we can address that today. Tappier's the key man for me. Now he's back in there, we should do well, and Burton missed that Leicester game as well on the road. Whenever he's played, we've won 4 or 5-0 recently, so we're hoping we can do the same today. The first highlight ends very quickly, but it's West Brom with a throw on the right hand side. The first attack of the match and we've got to be careful. Benzia finds Porto out to Dodo, the right wing back, headed away by the defender Lindsay. Benniker goes long and Rooney's in 1-on-1. Can he beat his man? He does. Brilliant challenge by the West Brom defender, recovered after it looked like he was beaten and just about clears it out for a throw with the help of his partner. The long throw comes in though. Burton flicks it to Tappier who puts it in, but he was well offside. Unfortunately he went too early and as soon as that flick came anyone could see he was offside. 5 minutes gone though, we look threatening on the break and especially threatening from set pieces too, but it's West Brom with the ball in now. Bittencourt gets there at the back post, finds Messina the left back. Goodwin heads away, but it's straight to Porto 30 yards out. Out to the right back again. Put in a couple of good crosses already for West Brom. Fredrickson at the back post. Benzia nods it down. Lumley makes a smart save down to his right and does really well to hold it as well. Rolls it out to Tappier. He finds Lindsay. We're playing that short football at the back. Tappier coming to get the ball off the keeper. This save has inspired what we're doing in the Torquay save as well, where we've employed a deep line playmaker to do the same thing. It seems to work well, so we're going to try it in both series. series. Edwards made a brilliant run there and got a shot off, but it was straight at the keeper, unfortunately. Burton with a free kick 30 yards out, straight at the keeper again, and they've got a goalkeeper called Finger, which is absolutely brilliant. Philip Finger, what a fantastic name. 20 minutes gone, and it looks like we've brought Tapia back a bit early. He's picked up another injury and's going off, so Tom Scully will come on for him. Stark tends to play in the home games when Tapia's not fit, but Scully's just got a bit more physicality. Stark's 34 now, and he's really starting to decline, particularly his physical attributes, where his pace is going down quickly. Another 10 minutes gone, no highlights, but another injury, and this time it's the wonder kid Edwards. Everyone we mentioned pre-match as being a key player is starting to get injured. The only other one we mentioned was Burton, so I think he's probably going to be the third. Nigel Armstrong gets a chance. Let's not forget he was our first choice last year, so it does show how much we've strengthened, but the reason we improved that wing, and the reason Dougie Freedman got someone in, is because we weren't scoring enough goals. Lindsay wins the header from a corner, down towards the post, but Finger, the West Brom keeper, makes a brilliant save down to his right. It's another corner though with Coman. Headed away as far as Armstrong. Lindsay's on the edge of the box for Burton. Scully on the edge. Now Goodwin. Deflects twice. Goodwin shoots. It's blocked again. Bittencourt brings it away to Fredrickson. West Brom's two up front could be dangerous on the break, but we saw that one out comfortably. And on the stroke of half time, with just stoppage time to go, it remains goalless. Burton with the ball out to Armstrong on the right. He finds Benniker and now Goodwin. We've got an overlap on the left, but he goes inside to Rooney. Beats two men. Baker makes the challenge, just about gets the ball, otherwise it would have been a penalty. His Finger, the West Brom keeper, goes for a long kick downfield, but luckily that's straight at Burton. The header away's poor though, it finds Fredrickson. Baker starts again with Vegas, the centre half. Long over the top but only as far as Colin, and the experienced right back will bring the ball away. Scully drops in and finds Benniker. He gets the ball to Goodwin in the centre circle. Benniker again. Can we find that breakthrough? Armstrong doesn't seem to be keen to get in behind, not like Edwards would where he'd just make that run off the ball. Goodwin keeps the ball though. Scully over the top. Rooney makes the run and puts it in. I tell you what, he may be a replacement, but Tom Scully put a beautiful ball over the top there. Tapia wasn't missed at all, and Jack Rooney loves that sort of service. In behind one-on-one, got great movement and pace, and tucks it away with a composed finish. On the stroke of half time we take the lead, and hopefully that'll change the West Brom team talk. Although we've had two injuries and a disappointing game, it's good to go into the break with the lead. Let's talk to the lads, give them a bit of credit, they've done well. We're going to tell them to prove a point, but if they get to the end of the 90 minutes with a result, given all the circumstances so far, we'll be very proud of them. Baker gets the ball back to Gibson for West Brom from the kickoff. They're going to try and build an early attack in the half, but the highlight ends, so it obviously came to nothing, and with 5 minutes gone in the second period, we remain a goal up. Now we're on the attack with Charlie Taylor. His delivery from the right's headed away. Armstrong recovers possession though. He's got a man down the line, but chooses to go back to Benniker. He does find that man in Goodwin. Inside to Scully. Can he produce another bit of magic? He goes simple this time to Benniker. Rooney back to Benniker again and now Goodwin. Keeping the ball in the middle well. Dragging West Brom's extra man all over the place. Having that 3-on-2 in the middle really allows us to tire them out, and hopefully that will pay dividends towards the end. It's worked against the likes of Leeds and Sheffield United as Finger makes another brilliant save from Coman, and we've got another chance from a corner. It's an outswinger from him. Out to the back post. It's over here. Poor two heads away and the highlight ends, but things are still looking good with 10 minutes of the second half gone. It's a free kick on the right from Taylor, looking for a man in the middle, headed away as far as Messina, and now he's fallen to Armstrong. He finds Colin. We don't want to lose it there. He's one-on-one. Hopefully he won't. Can he go back? Just play it to the keeper. Why are you risking giving it away? He finds Liam Lindsay, the skipper. Long ball over towards Rooney, but it's overhit and straight through to the West Brom keeper. A bit of a poor ball in the end, but we continue to assert our dominance on the game. The long kick from the keeper finds Colin. He brings it down for Armstrong. It's a continuing onslaught at the moment. He goes short to Benniker. He's got Goodwin and Charlie Taylor there. Finds Taylor on the edge to Coman. Loves that bending whip shot, but it's just wide of the back post and out for a goal kick. He's already in double figures in all competitions. A brilliant signing he's proven to be. Well done Dougie Freedman. The front three have been excellent. Colin gets the ball back again. Armstrong goes forward to Rooney. We're seeing so many highlights, but we've got to make them count as Rooney holds it up 25 yards out. Benniker to Goodwin. Can we find that ball through? West Brom just sitting deep with those two banks of four, and it seems to be working for them so far. Just one goal conceded. Colin gets to the byline, back to Armstrong, goes for a brilliant effort, but it's just wide of the post. Lots of power on that, and I don't think the keeper would have saved it if it was on target. If any of you were watching last season, go back and check out the last episode again. That overhead kick from Nigel Armstrong was one of the best goals I've ever seen in any Football Manager. It completely shocked me during the commentary, and it's well worth watching again. I'm going to go back and look at it after this just for the memory, but we've got to start thinking about substitutions in this one. 20 minutes to go, and weirdly it's Coman who's having the bad game. We don't often get to say that this season. Messina for West Brom. A long ball forward, but straight to Colin again, and we continue our dominance with Scully. Back to Lindsay. It just looks so composed. We look like a side that's completely confident with the way we're playing, and they look like they enjoy the responsibility, being a bit more of an attacking side this year, and really putting the pressure on the opposition. Scully just does that. A brilliant ball to Coman. He found Rooney. The centre-half got there first, but the pressure and the pressing was just too much, and Rooney taps in his second poacher's goal of the day with another composed finish. Coman on the left to Taylor. Will we be able to show how we've tired them now? We've been dragging them around out of position for half an hour, and we've got to make it count towards the end. Armstrong with a shot which is blocked, and it's away with Bittencourt and then Vegas. Up to the front man. Is that Vinicius from Real Madrid? I've got to check that out. Where's he playing? Up front. We'll look after this highlight. Bittencourt heads it down and wide. I've got to see if this is the one. It's not. It's an older version. I thought that was the one who was at Real Madrid, but it proved not to be the case. Let's make a sub or two with 15 minutes to go. It's Coman who's having an average game. Lewis will come on for him. I've just remembered it's the only sub we've got left due to injuries, so we can't do anything else. But we'll get Adam Lewis on, and hopefully we can see out the game comfortably. A more conventional shape with two wingers, and no exposure on the left-hand side with that inside forward. A free kick from Taylor's headed away again. Bittencourt's bringing it away down the left-hand side, but he's been forced backward by the press again, and the long ball's aimless and panicked, and just finds Benneker. He gets it to Charlie Taylor. On the left back to Benneker again. We're keeping the ball brilliantly with Scully. He goes wide to Taylor. It's absolutely joyful to watch. We're playing fantastic football, look confident, dominate games, and take a lot of chances as well. Rooney's shot's blocked on this occasion, but it's back to the keeper and the highlight ends. West Brom realistically are posing no threat to us at all. Dodo with a throw from the right. Taylor nicks in and wins it. Rooney holds it up for Lewis. He's got a man down the line, but goes inside to Benneker. Disguised pass finds Goodwin. He switches it to Armstrong. He's got an overlap, but they've gone backwards in the end and held it up. Colin's got the ball on the edge to Scully. Got a man over in Benneker. Goodwin shoots. Good save by Finger. It's tipped behind for a corner, but what a wonderful performance this has been. After the West Brom game last time, where we played really well, the Blackburn game, last time out, we dominated, we played well against one of the promotion favourites, but just couldn't quite get the result. In this one, we've added defensive solidity to the performance, and we've now got a third goal with Lindsay. Lewis, the substitute, clipped it into the back post. A lovely corner routine gets the third goal, and we are really looking like promotion favourites, and I'm almost in the position now where if Wolves offer a job, I'd have to contemplate it. I know we talk about realism in this save, but I'm thinking to myself, even if it is half the wage, would I leave this job at the moment? Possibly not. We're at the stage in the Championship now where we're financially comfortable anyway. We're on about 12 grand a week. It's not like when we were at Slough or Stevenage. Even though we were enjoying the job, we were only on 400 quid a week or 1,000 a week. At this one, we're on 12,000. You can live comfortably off of that. Let's go and talk to the lads as we complete the 3-0 victory. We're going to tell them it was excellent. What a wonderful second half. And yet again, we've worn a team down towards the end of a game. Let's go and see what the media have said about the game and see what that's done to the table. So we've certainly halted the West Brom promotion bid. That normally means they've fallen out of the playoffs. They have, but it's not at the expense of Oxford. Peterborough are up in 5th in the Championship, and Reading are into the top 6 as well. We've now got a 9-point cushion to Villa, who lost again. Blackburn did get a result against them, but they move on to the same amount of points. Our goal difference is 32, which is ridiculous, and we're now 15 points clear of 7th place, so we've almost certainly wrapped up the playoff position. I've just got to go and have a look at the more detailed table table. We've conceded 20 goals, which is the second best in the division after Villa, and we've scored the most by a long way. That's the difference with Dougie's signings. We've now got 52 goals for. However, we have got news of some injuries, and the Edwards one could make a big difference. Tappier's out with the same injury for another 4 weeks. I've got to learn not to bring him back as quickly. That could hurt us over Christmas, but at least we've got 2 or 3 players there. We've still got Jack Price on loan till the end of the month as well. This is the big one though. Edwards is out for 2 to 4 weeks. I can see it at the bottom. We've already got the spoiler there. That could be a lot worse, although it does mean we may drop some points over Christmas with a thinner squad. It means it's not going to be out long term, and we'll be able to use him in the second half of the season. We'll do the press conference off camera in a minute. Lindsay's on form and scored a goal as well, so we'll go and praise him for his performance. A wonderful result and a wonderful episode all round, and if the Wolves job offer does come, I'm really going to need to think about it. So let me know down in the comments whether you think I should take it. We're in a position now where money's not really an object because we get great money at both clubs. We've just got to think, do we want to manage in the Premier League? I'm really not sure how to go on that one. I was kind of hoping we'd struggle against West Brom, even if we won had a poorer performance, so it'd make my decision for me. But it's going to be really difficult now, providing Wolves offer us the job. Hopefully they won't, that could solve the problem. Lastly, let's go and have a look at the schedule to see when we'll next be back. That's the wrong screen, so we don't want to worry about that. We drew Oxford away in the FA Cup third round, which is a really tricky tie, but we're not going to worry about that competition. Our main focus this year is getting promotion. So there's loads of games in January. I don't know which ones are bigger, so we'll have a look towards the end of the month where it may be deadline day. So we've got Luton, who are my beloved club, of course, but I think they're down in the bottom half now. They're sliding away, so that's not a game worthwhile showing. Then we've got Pompey at the end of the month. They're down in mid-table, are they? They're rock bottom of the league, so that's not worth showing. And then we've got Sunderland on the 1st of February. They're in mid-table too. So not many big games about. We've got Reading in the middle of January, who are up there in the playoffs, but I don't know if that's a bit too early to come back. Otherwise, we've got to wait for the likes of Palace or Watford in February, so it may be the case of doing that. So we'll either be back in mid-January for one of the games, or we'll wait until the Palace one in February. I guess it depends how busy the January transfer window is, and whether we get job offers from bigger clubs. But I guess we'll find that out over the coming episodes, and the coming days for me in recording. But if you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on the video as always. I really do appreciate your continued support with the series. Let me know down in the comments whether you think I should move to Wolves. If we get the job offer, should I take it? Money's not really an object at this stage. It's just about the 2 clubs in terms of reputation. It looks like Wolves haven't got quite as much financial input now, so I don't know if they're going to be quite as big a force as they are in real life at the moment. So we probably have to put that aside when making our decision. After that performance, I'm starting to believe we will be a top 2 side if I'm still here. Let me know if you think we will be too, or should we not get ahead of ourselves and accept that with a few injuries we start to struggle and need to focus on getting the playoff position across the line. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one, The Head Coach, which will of course be back as normal on Saturday, and then our other series, Part of the Furniture with Torquay United. We started season 7 of that one yesterday. It's a big episode with a transfer and tactics special as we move into a new division for the club. There's also weekly content from my FIFA 19 lower league career with Crew Alexandra. But a massive thanks for following and watching as always, and we'll see you next time.